Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Harry's English classes. So, as usual, we are here again on our first class to talk about our daily expressions. Especially today, we are going to talk about the daily words which would help us to start speaking in English. So these words are actually going to help you to be more confident when you actually meet people or when you have to talk to them initially. So let's say, for example, you meet a person for the first time. So what do we say? Like, how do we face them or how do we start our conversation? Because usually we start fearing about the idea that we need to start speaking in English. The thought itself makes us go a little nervous, isn't it, my friends? So don't worry about it. So here I have come with solutions for that. So today we are going to discuss about a couple of words which we typically use in our everyday communications. All right. So let's start with all these things one by one. Okay. So firstly, let's see when you meet someone, okay, when you have to start your conversation or initiate your conversation, what do you say? We'll say the common words are hello or hi. So after that, what do we say? So we usually start with these. So you say, nice to meet you. So as you can see here, nice to meet you is one common expression which you might have heard people already using, or you also might have used it a couple of times, maybe, if you remember. Okay, or if you have not, start using it. It's a very simple expression. Just say nice to meet you, or happy to meet you, or glad to meet you. Or you can also say pleased to meet you. Well, let me tell you that all these words which I'm showing you now mean the same actually. When I say nice to meet you, you are expressing the same idea or the expression which is similar to happy to meet you or glad to meet you or pleased to meet you. So the ideas are same here. It's just that we have different varieties in this. Now, especially the last one when you see pleasure to meet you. So when you meet someone who is really special, who is like a very important person, maybe in terms of age, maybe in terms of a position that he holds. All right. So if you meet that kind of a person, then we say, pleasure to meet you, sir, or pleasure to meet you, madam. So this actually takes you a long way in order to speak English properly. So this is the first step that you would actually be taking in this part. All right, let me repeat. So when you meet a person and when you have to initiate the conversation, so you would say, nice to meet you, or happy to meet you, or glad to meet you, or pleased to meet you, a pleasure to meet you, like this. All right, my friends? So now let's move on to the next one. So when someone tell this to you, so what do we say in reply to that? I mean, at the end of the conversation, let's say you have to end the conversation and you may have to move on. So then what do we say? How do we end this conversation? We usually say bye, see you later, take care. So those expressions are quite common ones. Okay, even before that, so we say, like you say, nice meeting you, take care, or see you later, or happy talking to you. So I can say nice meeting you, or happy talking to you, or glad meeting you, or pleasure talking to you. I can use any one of these phrases just before I end this conversation. So this really makes you quite formal, and it really builds your confidence when you're speaking English with someone, especially when you are starting to talk to people in the initial stages of your speaking days, where you are really still nervous about your presentations, or you really are not so confident about your expressions. So you can start with these very simple expressions in order to gain more confidence about using this language. All right, friends. So far I have actually introduced you to two different set of expressions that you may have to use it in your everyday life. All right. So these are two expressions that we have learned so far. All right, let's move on here. So now the next set of phrases or the words that I'm introducing you is the ones which you're seeing on the screen now. So the next one is introducing one to another. Let's say you have to introduce your friend to someone else. Maybe on a special occasion, it could be a birthday party, or it could be an anniversary or a formal function. It could be anything of that social gathering. So you have to introduce one person to another. So how do we do that? So in that case, we usually have to use these phrases. You say, meet my friend Suman. I can start with this, a very, very simple expression. Meet my friend Suman. Or I can also say that, well, this is my friend Suman. Or I can also say, let me introduce my friend Suman. All right. Or if she's a girl, then you would say, she is my friend Suman. Or the person is a boy or a man. So you say, well, he is my friend Suman. So this way, you actually introduce one person to the other. And the other way, you will have to introduce the other person to your friend as well. So we will discuss about that in the latest stage of our discussions and other lessons as well. But now we will focus on very simple expressions of language. So let me repeat. When you introduce one person to the other, you say, meet my friend Suman, or this is my friend Suman, or let me introduce my friend Suman, or she is my friend Suman, or he is my friend Suman. So you can actually use these phrases in order to introduce one of your friends or cousins or colleagues to someone else in the party. All right. So this is our third set of words that you actually have learned today. All right. So let me move on to the next set of expressions that we have to commonly use in our everyday life. When we have to thank someone because they have really helped us, in some way. How do we do that? So when someone offers you a glass of water, then what do we say? Say, all right, thanks. If it is a very informal situation. So when I say informal situation, what do I mean by that? When I'm with my friends, or when I'm with my cousin brothers or cousin sisters, or any of my relatives for that matter. So in that case, if it is a casual environment in your house, okay, or maybe in a restaurant, so you say thanks. That's a very casual expression. Okay. Or maybe if you have to use this in your office or any of the formal meetings or any kind of functions that you're attending, which are related to your business or maybe of your work. So you have to use thank you, right? And also you can say thank you so much. Okay. And not only that, you also can say thanks a lot in a casual expression. All right. And finally, you can also say when someone has really given their time to you in order to help you. So then you say, thank you for your time. Thank you for your time. So let me tell you all the expressions which are common here. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you for your time. All right, friends. So you also have to take a note on the voice modulation that I'm doing here. The ups and downs in my voice is also really important. You need to speak the way I did for these expressions. All right. So that comes with practice. Don't worry. So you will definitely gain that proficiency one day. All right. Okay. Now moving further, when someone say thank you to you or thanks a lot to you, how do you respond to them? So that is really a very important factor here. So what do we say? We can't just remain silent when they say thank you. Then what do I say? All right. So I have to say, you're welcome. Or I can say, never mind. Or simply I can just say, don't mention, in a very informal situation. Or if we can say, it's my pleasure. So when you really help an elderly person pick up something or do something, or you give them something, so they say, thank you, or thank you very much. So you say, it's my pleasure. In a very casual way, you can say that. All right. And when you help maybe maybe one of your friends. So she says, "Oh, thank you, thanks." You say anytime. Okay, so this expression is commonly used for people who are, who are very close to us, who are our friends and family, such people. Okay, and it's my pleasure is commonly used to people who are not really close to us, but you are really kind of happy to help them on something. When they say, thank you so much, so it's my pleasure, you can always say that. All right, friends? So these are the expressions or the words or the phrases which are really important for us to start our basic conversations with people, which would really give you a headway to begin talking to people in English. Well, so I'm almost there on the last part of today's lesson. So how do we say sorry to someone? So what are the different expressions that we have when we say sorry? So I say, well, I'm sorry, or pardon me, or I can just simply say, excuse me, or well, if you really want to be more formal, so you can say, I beg your pardon. All right. And if you're really serious about your sorry and you really understand your mistake, so then you can say, I'm extremely sorry. Well, you can say that. So it's a common expression to say, I'm sorry for all the small mistakes that which really happen without our knowledge, or sometimes we just don't notice some things and all human errors, basically. So maybe you stamp on someone's leg, so you say, oh, well, I'm sorry. All right. So you say, that's a common expression that, oh, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm extremely sorry, like that. So okay, so that's a common one. And as I said, if you're really sorry about what you did or you realize, so say, I'm extremely sorry, or I beg your pardon, like that. So that's the thing which we use here when we say sorry to people. All right. So these expressions may be known to you, or some of them could already be used by you. I'm just telling this to you here. If in case you are new to all this, then you may have to start using them gradually and slowly, one by one. Okay. And going further, we will see all the conversations and talkings like between two people, how people use it, and all that. Okay. Now, when someone says sorry to you, so how do you respond to them? I mean, what do we say when someone says sorry to you? You can't just remain silent, or you can't just show the faces or hands at them. So you will have to recognize it. So you will have to say that, okay, you don't mind. So how do we say that? You say, it's okay. You can just give a response to that, a very simple response. It's okay. All right, because you know that the mistake is not deliberately done or something which is knowingly done. So that you say, well, it's okay, no problem. All right. So maybe by mistake, so someone picks up your pen, all right, thinking that it's their pen. So they say, oh, sorry. Then they say, oh, that's okay, or it's okay, like that. So this is a common expression. And the next one is, that's fine. You can say that. Well, that's fine. That's okay. Or take it easy. It's fine. So you don't mind that at all. Okay, so say, never mind, take it easy. It's all right. You can say that as well. It's all right. It's okay. You're not so serious about it. Or say, no worries. It's fine. So these are all the common expressions again you use when you respond to people when they say sorry. Okay, after a mistake, basically. All right, people. So these are all the common words that we actually use when we have to talk to people in our everyday basic English usage. All right. Okay. So as I promised yesterday, so I'm here with you today discussing all these words and phrases with you. So going further, just stick with me. I'm going to take you to long way of introducing you to many expressions of this language and helping you understand more about it, and also guiding you on using this language more effectively and proficiently. All right. Okay, then. So stay tuned. See you in the next session. Until then, bye bye. Take care.